Hello and welcome to another episode on the MI podcast. So, today's episode would be about influencer marketing. Uh, in the last, say, 10 odd years, with different social media coming up, different kind of platforms, everyone has been, out there creating content and trying to promote not only their own brand but then also collaborating with other other brands. So the collaborations have been free, they have been paid, and in many ways, the ecosystem has become basically something for like in a democracy when you say it's for the people, by the people, of the people. So this is now the ecosystem of the content or internet. Basically, the users has become of content creators, so their influence has increased quite a lot, and it will just keep increasing. Now there are more opportunities for nano influencers or for influencers which or people who are just creating content of extremely small audience also, like you all must have heard in colleges you would say a campus ambassador or something. So it could be in any kind of a group where you are having a kind of an influence somewhere which can be taken online, and that influence can be monetized by a brand. So it depends who's your target audience and how you kind of connect with them. That is the most important thing in this particular influencer marketing. So our topic today is this, and we will talk more about this and how to kind of go about this. So firstly, we will talk about in influencer marketing as a marketer, how do you choose an influencer. So there are many factors in this, and also after choosing is who is going to be ready to work with your brand also, within a budget that suits the both of you, and you can work together within the space of the collab. So firstly, what you have to do as a marketer is, which you have done maybe earlier only, obviously if not you have to do it, is a very important thing, is that you have to define your target audience. So and this can be then specific for a particular campaign, because influencer marketing, end of the day, it is mostly done on a project to project basis. So you could have a certain brand ambassador, but that I would say is a little bit of a different thing. It's more like associating with more popular person in a particular domain, or if you're a big company, then the mass star or the celebrity, or what in general what you call it, like in digital terms it would be like, say, person who has more than 1 million followers per se on Instagram or something, for an example, that would come into a celebrity category. But mainly you have to come that in terms of their target audience. You have to define your target audience for the particular campaign, and that will be based on demographics and their interests and their behavior basically online. How do they search for things, or what content they are viewing, and all these things. So this is very important to kind of define the same. Then you have to set specific campaign goals. So basically campaign goals would be, for example, like your brand awareness or your lead generation, or directly if it's online, then you're selling things, products online, then it would be the sales only. So you have to set your campaign goals. Can't be like I want everything. You have to set specific categorization of these kind of goals. Then your search would start about influencers. So you could do it in house in your own team, depending on your marketing team. How good is your marketing team in terms of the amount of people you have who can do the rev, or then you are doing it through an agency or some kind of influencer marketing platform. So you have to look at what all is available, but in terms of the work is you have to look for the database of that influencers in that niche that you are looking. Like what kind of a brand are you? Are you a lifestyle brand? Are you a beauty brand? Are you a tech brand? Are you a brand which is into, say, hospitality or something, like it's a hotel brand or something? So you have to kind of define in terms of that for that particular obviously campaign, and then the influencers in it, which is actually generally what um, niche which is already that of your products or services, then you look at that database in that. Then once you've done a kind of a shortlist on those from that database, then you should then go deeper in evaluating their particular audience. Like what can you see in their followers, like most, like a shortcut a bit of in this would be, because if you look at it, then you have to like analyze the whole followers or something, instead of doing that, looking at a major amount of both. Like you can look at the last, say, general what has been, like, say, the last 20 posts of them, and then what kind of comments are happening on it, or generally what is the content, because generally people will react on that content which appeals to them, that they are in that particular category. So you have to do that evaluation of the audience, and if it works for you, that they have a good amount of engagement rate. And it's because you can't look at just followers, right? Like gone are those days. You have to get deeper in it, whether that followers are actually of some value. Do they bring some value to the teachers? Are they in some domain, are they having an expertise and they are teaching the same? Because we are not, this is not like a model campaign of the person's looks only that would come bring to the table. So even I'm noticing a lot of awareness campaigns are not being done for just, say, solely attractive people on the net. It would be where they are also bringing some amount of, they can be attractive, but like a value to the table in their content, and in aligning with the values of the brand itself. So these are very important kind of questions to answer, and then you go along with it. Go through the content in detail, and then try to make the notes, your presentation on that of them. Definitely on their own, the influencers will have their proper PPT there, with which is generally like a media kit, like of the work they've done and what kind of audience, maybe statistics of the audience also, because which is generally not available. You can't get it from outside. You have to get it from, if you get an exact, like the statistics of the audience. So you have to kind of go through that. Like obviously it is what they declare, but then you get an idea once you have gone through their account and all their posts and content in general. So awesome. So also a little bit like more, you have to check whether they have a good reputation in the industry in terms of with working with the agencies. Have they done quite a brand the deals in the future? This is for the bigger deals. If you are doing right, like a newbie influencer won't be taken for like major deals. Obviously it'll take time to justify that cloud that they have in the market for it. So pretty much I would say this is has to be kind of checked. And then the lastly is the financial thing. What is generally given in the media kit? Is it uh, I would say, is it kind of coming, there is a match somewhere, like there is that symbiosis happening where like they can work, they that budget is suiting both, right? They are in like in the same boat, like basically. So that way, these are some of the things which you have to consider when you're making this particular campaign. Now let's talk something very specific, like because of, say, like when I'm talking about influencer marketing, mostly we'll look at it for the smaller SMBs, like smaller companies or medium-sized companies, because you're not looking at the bigger ones where there is a lot of, it's a different game. I would say, like you can have a major celebrity as a brand ambassador, and you have a lot of awareness campaigns. So it's not The challenge, I would say, the real challenge in influencer marketing and justifying it is with a limited amount of budget is the real deal. Because with a major budget, I mean, I won't say it's such a tough job, because you it's your you have that cash at your disposal to get a high level celebrity level influencer. You have a lot of cash for doing major awareness campaigns only per se, without doing too much of research about the influencers and all those things. So that is there in for the bigger. But let's look specifically for the smaller companies. What are the benefits, and what is something which maybe many marketers out there you're not realizing, where you can use very nano level influencers also and get the bang from the buck, at which I would say many D2C brands are really doing a good job with their nano influencers, and they are getting a major ROI when they are doing influencer marketing. So what kind of benefits is that? Firstly is the brand awareness that is created. Like if you are a absolutely new brand, uh, and nobody like really knows much about you, if you tie up with a many nano influencers who have a small loyal audience in a particular niche, then it kind of really your brand awareness goes to the next level. From zero it could go to like 100 in very quickly, like if you have multiple nano influencers, right? So that can kind of increase, like out of nowhere you will just kind of know about where you don't have that uh, much of an audience even looking at you or being aware about you. It kind of takes it to the next level. Then you have your basically you're accessing targeted audiences of many different influencers, right? It's not you're building that, which is also important as a brand. You have to build your audience. You have to with your social media channels and all, you have to do great create content, which is like a norm now. But you quickly get access to a very targeted and loyal audience of all these influencers. Then generally influencer content is perceived as more authentic, because they are have majorly built up their following. Most of them is there is constant, you would say, value addition that they are giving to their particular audience. So value addition in the form that they're teaching them new things, or they are entertaining them, or then giving them great information also, or industry upgrades and trends and all these things. So somewhere or the other they are, it is perceived as authentic than like a push strategy. Is mostly like a pull strategy which is there within the influencers. So that is there. Then the cost effectiveness of having influencer marketing is because it is a direct then negotiation. It's not done through obviously some automated tool. You have a Google Ads or something like that, which is kind of, here it is, there is a direct deal, and generally it is work out. There are many new level um, just getting into the game and all that, so that they won't charge that much. Obviously they are not bringing that much to the table also. So in terms of cost effectiveness, that it is more like, I would say, a D2C brand, like say something which is used on an everyday basis, or something like an FMCG or something. So those would have more cost effectiveness in their marketing to influencers than through, I would say, let's say the other channels that are there. So I would say that's how it would work. And then obviously the social media engagement, because mainly the influencers who have done well, though, it is through engage. They know how to engage a particular audience, right? It's not easy in such a competitive environment with a whole load of media, and everywhere you have your screens, everybody is consuming content on that. To create a place for yourself is not easy in the crowded media that is out there. So here they know how to play the game of in terms of attracting that audience, and that's how they will increase your brand social media engagement as well. Awesome. So now going forward, let's say the this year 2023, what are the trends? Like what, where is influencer marketing? Because now we just showed the basics. Like I mean, many obviously would be referred a little bit more detailed if I went, but you all will be aware of most of the things that are there. So let's talk something about what you have to do. Like what different things are coming up, what is new and exciting, and firstly is the transparency. As influencer marketing, that should be there. Like you have to, I think now you have to make declarations also about it. There is some sponsorships and all that are happening of sponsored programs. So it's now, I would say, being transparent about this is what is required. It's not, you don't have to look at it as a way that, oh, I have to kind of declare or pay the tax on that and all. It is the need of the art to be authentic and transparent in your dealings, which is what even the new generation, they appreciate that, and they will connect with more brands who are doing that and who say what they are doing actually, and it is kind of right, morally right what they are conveying. So I would say that is the authenticity and transparency would be there. Next would be the identifying nano influencers, different kinds of. You have to identify. You could be even a person who has a following of say even 2,000 on Instagram. There could be something which you can do with that person, right? If you have to just analyze the content and all, like you have to do deep digging into these, try to source out such influences, because maybe there is somewhere a value addition they could do with you, like in terms of your brand. And also I think you should look at more specifically, look at nano, because today I feel now everyone today who has a public account would be an influencer only, right? So you have to, there is a lot of scope to work, and they can get uh, they have basically, the main thing is that they would have a loyal audience, so that would kind of work out for them and for you as well. So then is you're focusing on your on a niche audience, right? So um, these particular influencers, they obviously, in a particular, when an influencer is not very general, is very focused content, okay, I just make content on say marketing, or I have a channel into sales, or I talk about finance, or I'm talking about say beauty products or something, or fashion or to this thing, or I'm into travel or something. But there has to be that thing defined, like a general thing would come. That would be if you are an artist or something, then you can have a kind of a popularity, you are a known person, then it's like just for you they might be following you. But generally it should be in the niche audience, and that's why what I've observed also is these when you're doing for the big brands with say macro level influencers as well, they're getting much better ROI than the celebrity influencer, which you are identifying. Like if you see a direct, like which you can measure, that's what's happening, because you have to now start focusing on your niche. That's why if you, that is the reason why so many major movie stars and all, they started their own channels and YouTube, and they are vlogging and all these things, is because they also are seeing that now their market could be taken over by the influencers, so they also have to now act like influencers in the market. So however then you have your acting or your singing or whatever, but you have to be kind of influencer if you want to get the brand deals, because now the brands are going to look at it as this way. We have a niche audience. Even vloggers, I would say that that is a niche in itself, right? So if somebody is interested, you do a lot of interesting things throughout your daily activities, or you're going to interesting places, meeting interesting people. So that is also a niche vlogging would come under. So that would also be a part of it. But focusing on the niche is kind of important. So um, again, the use of videos will im- increase more. um, Reels and all, like 2 3 years, like TikTok and all these things, the short formats, they are being consumed more. Even like if you so much on the short, like YouTube also, if you see, when you open the app, it's directly coming to the shorts section, right? Because that is where the major market is. And the video content, because it's easier now to create a content piece. That is the reason why more is being created. And also consumption also, I would say, like, that is a different discussion. If how much people should consume is addictive or whatever, that's a different thing. The job of the marketer is like where the attention is, there you will kind of gravitate and talk about your particular brand. So that is how it kind of, and this is increasing the video content. How will it be used, what kind of platforms? Lot of networking related platforms are also coming up in different niches and all. So I think this is also a thing which will increase a lot. Personalized, like one-on-one kind of, where you are getting connect with other person. So I'm not just talking about the dating apps and all, but it would be, let's say, also, where like there are a lot of teachers and all that, and they then, if you want to have a discussion with somebody, like like a meeting happen, and those kind of services also, and apps are coming where you can do that. Like even for celebrities, it would be like a personalized message, and also more personalized service based apps are coming. So this is where it'll all kind of increase. And then most important, data is, we're getting more data, more data which is kind of you have more filtration option. You can get so many new insights from it. You can derive some kind of conclusions from it. So data is kind of increasing the disposal of it and how it can be utilized. So this is being, I would say, you can do better influence on it, because if you have the more data, which influencer is giving you more value, you can calculate that and then kind of go forward with the best influencers that can help in promoting your particular products and services. Great. So let's now move to the Q&A session. So the questions from the audience. Let's see what we can. We've covered the basics. We will not go to the basic questions. We'll go to something like specific. How do you identify the right influencer? I've already answered it. Okay. So how do you like this? This is a good one. Where in terms of what are the different types of influencer categorizations? Because I use the words nano, macro, and all that. Okay. So obviously it would come nano influencer, then micro, macro, and then celebrity. So if I would put numbers, something more specific, I would say nano would be followings of, um, say, 1,000 to 10,000 generally in any kind of platform. Then micro would be the 10K to 100K. Macro would be then 100K to um, the million. So 100K to a million would be in macro, and then you would have the celebrity, which is above 1 million, I would. So that is what generally what the marketers in the terminology they follow, those particular things. What are like the best practices for influencer marketing? So this is the same that is in marketing. Have a clear goal and establish, what you want to get out of the campaign in general, and you have a specific budget. Make it as authentic as possible. Don't be salesy with influencers. So in that it would like look very fake. Now people can see through all that. So transparent about sponsorships, and have a proper reporting structure and measuring that you are doing of this thing, like what campaign with which influencer has got what specific results, and every result doesn't have to be like a calculated some number based. It can be also about generally the goodwill for the company and the brand and the quality of the work that has gone. Those also have to come in, because everything is not numbers, even though you would be a marketer. So next, how do you measure effectiveness? Effectiveness is the general like of any campaign or any advertising that you do online, which is engagement rate, your clicks, your conversions, and all these things. The general things would come to in terms of judging the effectiveness of the campaigns. So, what kind of mistakes generally you see in influencer marketing campaigns? So mainly, वही है कि like just doing general awareness campaigns. That is a, I feel, a big no-no. Like you have to look at somewhere or the other where there is a number attached, or value should be there. Like somewhere you can't have generic campaigns and all, which is just about awareness, a certain amount. What are you getting with the certain views, right? Like there has to be something or the other. So then being too promotional or salesy, I would say, would be another one. Then ignoring now these guidelines of the advertising council and all, so that would be there. And then proper tracking system, having not having that in place also is a mistake to be. Also, when you're working with, you have to identify the influencers who are really good to work with. See, because everybody, they can come up, right? So you have to look at somewhere a person is giving you that value, but can be enhanced also later. So the person can grow in stature, right? And that, when it happens, like when somebody actually goes viral and all, and you are maybe contracted with that person, you can showcase like in your material that we have worked with this, so that person's goodwill then attaches to that brand. So that is like being like that. I would say we were more a visionary within marketing that would then work for you if you think like that, not for the short term. You have a long term thing in mind, and you have those goals, and you're doing that. So that would be it. What are benefits of working in micro? So micro, as we said, the category is um, the 10,000 to a lakh, which is majorly like those who could be like a full-time influencers. Mostly they are in those categories, and those are guys are quite, you have to be quite dedicated and this thing. And you would say most of, I would say, the maximum return on investments is coming from the micro influencers. So that is major benefits of working with them, and many brands can afford the influencers. So I think there are so many advantages of working with them. Yeah, how should your negotiation be with influencers for this? So the negotiation, I think, if there are just a few, you're a small company, I think you should do it kind of directly with them. Um, so because even they are not getting that much of demand, they are not that big at that time. Like many of them, they are not having that so many offers in place. So you have to kind of, let's say, negotiate with them in a way which is fair. Can't be like, you can't take, because it'll come back to bite you if you take advantage of a certain influence and all that. So those things all, as I said, short term thinking, which is the worst kind of thinking. Though many people have it but can't do anything, but you shouldn't have it. So basically, you got to be a long term lambi race ka ghoda, and you have to kind of do these things. So pretty much, um, negotiate, everything has to be in like a proper mail, official mail, and then you have to have the agreement in place where you break down the work and the milestones, and when you'll be paid what amount, and all those terms and conditions have to be on paper, obviously. Awesome. So we've covered now the trends also been asked about, and in general, like influencer marketing in terms of, yeah, formats, what kind of format. So I would say the formats that you're doing also, I would say now influencer using your product, if you are creating a little bit of a long format content and how that you are using that product, he's using it in the live. You can have some long format like a video how they are using it in the live. This is some of the one of the ways where I've seen that increases your credibility of your brand once you have a influencer who has a good name and is using that kind of content in the long format. Also, I would say influencers today, like where they are you bringing them on, like, and they taking over your channel for some time and creating one or two videos or something as they do it on their platform, is also being used quite and it is being effectively used also. So there is a reason for that. It is giving good results, so that can be done, a takeover kind of thing. Because that his audience will definitely come, most of it will know about you and your thing once you are there, and most of the time that is what we desire, that audience that they have built, like somewhere or the other they acknowledge your company and basically you are in their radar, and that happens generally is been happening successfully most of the time with these kind of takeover kind of things. So I think this is something to kind of explore in many ways, creative ways by the marketers. Awesome. So great. It's been a great session here, episode of influence marketing, and I would like you to say that basically you can follow me on LinkedIn, and you can hit the icon, the notification. So when there's a live session, you come to know, and you can send me the questions for this and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Also, you can be part of any of these, because now podcast obviously I'll be bringing on people also on this, so you can directly approach me for that if you want to be part of any of these episodes. And then this thing also, I've already taken now these all on YouTube and Spotify and all this, and will you will get all the details of this. You have to just follow me, and there'll be more. This is like a live thing, but those would be like more edited and also. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time, and I wish you all the best. And it was great having you on this session. And loads of love to you. And awesome. Keep going and keep believing in yourself. Thank you.